Hello. Oh, a complete evening. Great. This evening is part of a complete breakfast. Another controller. Who would have guessed, right? How's my Chinesium battery doing? Guess it's okay. Oh, thanks for the super chat. The 8-bit guy really sucks. Why do you say that? Yeah, I actually was able to find 2 brand new white controllers off Amazon, which I haven't been able to do in a while. I 100% believe that they're going to kill the Xbox hardware. I think they're just going to license it like... It'll probably be like 3DO. They'd be like, oh... It's like, oh, look, this is an Xbox. Xbox ROG Ally. I like some of the Microsoft hardware. Like, I still have a Surface Book. It's like 10 years old. It still works actually pretty well. Not well enough to stream off of anymore. I'm using a spooky work laptop for that. Next Xbox is a PC that would cost over, I assume you meant $1,200. Yeah, I think they're just gonna make it into like a publishing brand. I mean, they bought all those studios for some reason. It's still stupid. I mean, it's like Disney buying Fox. It's like, oh great, that'll be profitable once you get up to Avatar 40. Bud, stop! Bud, stop! Leave that alone. That is not a 2x2 for cats. You have a scratching post. Actually, wait, where's your scratching post? This is what you're supposed to scratch. Oh. Wow, he's really... Holy crap. Kind of destroyed the crap out of this thing. Maybe that's why he doesn't scratch it anymore. I should just make him a scratching post. That's just a 2x2. Bud crashing out. Yep, Bud is crashing out. Reddit was talking about it. Wonder if we'll find another one of those new circuit boards. Petsky robots. Wireless display adapters? What is that? Oh, I was sick. Like all last week. I'm still not completely over it. Like, I got some sort of mega bug at the Pinball Expo last weekend. So I didn't have any symptoms. Last time I streamed, which last Monday, I didn't have any symptoms that night. But like on Tuesday, I started getting symptoms. I don't know what the hell. Actually, a few other people got sick too. Con crud. It was legit worse than either time I had COVID. Mostly over. I pretty well. I actually still have some sinus congestion and still some expectoration in my lungs. So that kind of sucked. What is it, bud? Are you sad? Hello, GST Computing. The 8-bit guy looks like he smells like cheesies. Maybe. Isn't he an arcade owner now? Made an arcade for some reason. Yeah, at least he's thinking long term, like after YouTube. Because I assume if I had to guess, he's probably my age and just too old for YouTube. Anything over 40, really. It's like when actresses turn 40, then all they get to do is play witches. Yeah, you should do it, Mike Workman. I mean, I've mentioned this before, but a big part of my motivation is just that, you know, I do these on the side, so it's a evening job, and I don't necessarily want to work in the evenings, but part of it for me is like doing a live stream helps me cope with it. It's all right. I don't know. It's not like I have a super busy life or anything, but what is it, bud? You have a really easy life. You don't have to do anything. You just go mew, 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 mew. Yeah, what is a cheesy? Is it like a Cheez-It? I have an extra left controller laying around, but of course no one's ordered a left controller in a couple weeks, so I can just test it and then send it along. But of course the last like 3 orders have been righties. Let's say righties is probably like easily 60% of the orders, if not more. I think it's because if people like they lose a limb in an accident, since 90% of people are right-handed, they're probably trying to do something with their right hand during the accident, which means their left hand is more likely to... I'm just guessing. I don't know. I actually should discuss it with the ER doctor that's at the bar. I'm sure he'd have an opinion on it. He thinks old people shouldn't be allowed to own pets. You know how many people come in after they trip over their pets? Then he had this idea for a Medicare helmet. What was it? The Medicare helmet is so when you fall down, you don't crack open your skull, and then when you drive your car, people can see the helmet from far away and realize you're an old person driving slow. That's the new $1 million idea, the Medicare helmet. This thing's been cloggy lately. This is like a new tip, too. This tip's not even a year old. No, but down, down, down. I'm going to have the CIA buy me a shock collar. Ah, jeez. Ah, there we go. An auto Q-tip dispenser. Yeah, here, bud, here. Here. Bud. Stick, stupid, stick. No wonder you're extinct. He didn't used to do that, but yeah, what was it, last week? He jumped up there like 4 times. Those Q-tips have been sitting there for years. Remember remember when I first got Bud, it took him over a year to realize he could jump onto the kitchen counter. I don't think he was like physically unable to. He just didn't think about doing it. Then of course, you know, now he jumps up there 50 times a day. Man has entered the forest. The Fern Gully Forest. Oh yeah, it was like, it's that Wolfman Nest game that was like a Wolverine game that they lost a license to, and so then turned it into like a werewolf game. What? Well, I guess I could reuse this one. Oh yeah, because this is already in a righty shell, so yeah. Down. That's number 2. Hello, Langley. Yes. I need a new budget for my my Twitch channel. Yes. I need a shock collar for cats. Yes. Okay. All right. Thanks for giving me a job, Langley. Bud, no. I will give you the humane version of a shock collar. I will squish you. I'll squish him on a live stream. Ugh. You like being squished? Not really. Squish that cat. Mew. Oh. Here, go into your box. Here, I'll give you a Q-tip. They're really healthy for you. Oh, yum, 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 yum. Okay, I should just be able to reuse this Hall effect sensor. One thing I've noticed, like the Hall effect sensors, they're not always perfectly centered on the test screen. I mean, it's probably good enough, but at least with the potentiometers, you could dial it in a little bit. Although games usually have dead zones. Your favorite Stephen King novel. Oh, I was thinking about that. The Hassan Piker, who's CIA. Let me just get that on the record. Someone should make like the anti thing, like where like if someone does a super chat, it like ejects a greenie for a cat or a dog treat, like an altruistic version of that, a non-evil version. What do you think about that, Bud? I know that sounds a bit greedy. So there's this guy I know named... I always get him confused with another friend of mine. There's these two friends I know, and they're like so similar. They even like look similar. But I've always wanted them to meet at and they've been at the same convention before, but they've never met. Mike and Doug, there are their names. Well, anyway, so this Jesse guy, he had this, he used to live in Minneapolis, and his house was in this thing called the ball crawl, and that was a thing that we used to do where you go up to Minneapolis, and you would, it was like this big drinking pinball night, and you would go to 3 different people's houses. It was Brian Kelly, Jesse, and then I think Brian Millard. And they each had like pinball basements, although Brian's was the biggest, or Brian Millard's was the biggest. That's where it always ended up. And they called it the Pinball Ghetto, his garage. Well, anyway, so Brian Kelly's garage was like, or his basement was like a workshop kind of basement. And he had a section of his basement kind of like this, where one section of his basement was just a workshop. Although he had built his house custom. And every square inch of it, like everything was covered with like a pegboard. So I was kind of inspired by that when I like redid my garage. Although I used white pegboard so it would bounce more light. But anyway, the second place on the... Was it the second or the third? Oh, and Brian had a cheese pump. We all love the cheese pump. It's like one of those things where you get like that big food industrial can of cheese, and you put it in the cheese pump, and then you could put cheese in the nachos. So his wife would always set up like nachos and jalapenos and the cheese pump. It was really good. Okay, there is a point to this story, right? So at Jesse's place, I can't remember if Jesse's was if that was the starter. It was either the start or the second one. Jesse, his basement was like this bar basement, like his whole pretty much his entire basement was like a bar and like pinball machines. And he had this jar on the wall in his basement, and it had beef jerky in it. And but there was a sign on it that said $1, and I was like, "Oh, could I try that?" And his wife was like, "Yeah." And then she was like, "Well, the thing with the $1 is, if we didn't make people like give us money for the piece of beef jerky, they would inhale all of it." And so I tried it, and I'm like, "Wow, this is really good beef jerky." And I haven't bought any in a while, but I probably should get some. So the brand is Jim Dandy Beef Jerky. It's made in Minnesota, and you can go to their website, I think it's jimdandy.com, and buy some. The price hasn't gone up too much. So yeah, I would buy it, and then sometimes I would bring it into the shop, and then Max would inhale it. So it's like, oh, that's why. I guess I didn't really think about that until I took it to the shop, and then Max would just inhale it. Anyway, the reason I brought that up, because like, yes, if you had some sort of like automatic greenie dispenser, you'd have to gatekeep it somewhat so people just wouldn't spam the button in chat. Kind of long-winded story there. If I send you cheesies, awesome local made iced tea, liquor drinks, and some shop supplies, would it be weird or nice? Oh, you're from Canada? Shipping alcohol is, people do it. It's kind of nebulous. I would think you'd probably have more trouble with it going over a border. I would Google it first. Oh no, people send me, that's fine. I would rather you send me food stuff than anything else, because then I could eat the food stuff and then it doesn't take up any more room. So yeah, but I would definitely research it to see if it, yeah. I have definitely shipped, I've definitely shipped things, alcohol, to people surreptitiously. But I think it is a bit of a gray area. I can't remember who it was. Someone sent me a Super 8 camera they found at Goodwill, and they packaged it. Their packing materials was a sack of Bucky nuggets. I think part of it is bottles is a no-no because they can break, and then like they can leak on other things. Kind of like how you're not supposed to have bottles in a boat, because they can like break, and then people will step on the glass after on the beach or something. Oh no, if you want to send something, and I mean, if you can send it, please just check first. But yeah, then we could do like a taste test on stream. I definitely want to downsize by like the end of the decade, so I am trying to not amass any large things that aren't like gas tools. So chainsaw is okay, but other stuff like random game consoles, no. Well, yeah, you can't. Yeah. Oh, we have that here in the Midwest. Like some bars have tried selling spotted cow in other states, and they get in big trouble. Because the distributors are kind of like the mob, so it's like, this is our state. You ain't gonna sell that across state lines. So yeah, you can get in big trouble. But that's for sale. So like, yeah, if I like, well, I often do like take Wisconsin beers to like conventions in other states if I'm driving there. Actually, I've flown to, like, if you're at the Madison airport, there's one of the stores sells spotted cow in like 12 packs. It's super overpriced. I think it's like $26 for a 12 pack. But you can actually take it on the airplane as your personal item. So if you had like a carry-on and no laptop, you could take a 12 pack of beer on the plane as your personal item, replacing like a large purse or a laptop. And I've done it on many occasions. You know, obviously the beer has been pre-scanned to make sure there's no knives or explosives in it. Yeah. Me 0262. What are you apologizing for? It's there's no worries. If it makes you feel any better, like when I go to those shows, I don't even usually end up hanging out with my friends, because I just end up talking to like random people the whole time, which is fine. But that's not a big deal. It's very easy to miss connections at shows like that. That happened at Pinball Expo too. I drove down there with a friend of mine who, I don't think he got sick. Yeah, oh yeah, I double checked, because I asked him and some other people to make sure that, because I definitely got sick. But yeah, anyway, so we show up, and then it's like, all right, I'll see you 5 hours later. Let's see here. No springs. 10 years past the Back to the Future 2 date. Oh yeah, ugh, God. And they still haven't abolished all lawyers. Yeah, me 0262. Yeah, they're called like blue laws. Like, especially like down south, there's a bunch of weird stuff. Like, what is it? Like in Texas, you can't buy booze on a Sunday, and in Wisconsin, you can't buy a car on a Sunday. I think the Texas law would be more annoying. Or like in, where is it? Utah. Because there's so many Mormons. Even like existing brands, they have to brew everything with like a low alcohol count. Like, I want to say it's like sub 3%. So you, like, if you get like a Bud Light, well, it's already low quality, but you know, you get like a standard beer that would be 5%, and it's like 2.5 in Utah. Liquor stores had to be closed on Sunday, but you can drink yourself silly at the bar and drive home. Yeah. Oh, in Wisconsin, you can't buy beer past 9 p.m. and apparently that's to reduce how drunk people get. Which is kind of weird. I mean, there's some places. Well, actually, that's usually in cities. Yeah. So, like, if there's like a gas station on a country road that's not actually in a city, then they'll sell beer until they close. There's a in Madison here. It's right next to Drakenberg Cigar Lounge, like the really crappy hole in the wall place. I haven't been there in a while. Kind of miss going there. But it's that's actually just north of the Oscar Mayer plant, and it's actually like a block away from Human Head Studios, the makers of the original Prey. Anyway, but it's technically like not Madison. It's like some other township, but it's really small. But anyway, for some reason, you can buy liquor like all night. And so in this same strip mall that has this crappy cigar bar, well, I mean, I think it's kind of cool because it's like a total hole in the wall. I love hole in the wall bars. But anyway, so there'll be there's this liquor store, and they have like a rent-a-cop, I guess, because maybe, I don't know, maybe in case it gets wild. And there's a lot of traffic too, but yeah, you can, I don't know how late they're open, but it's definitely past 9. Is that what it's called? Maple Bluff? That sounds possible. It's like on the north side of Madison, not like too far north, but it's just north of the, north and northwest of the Oscar Mayer plant. But yeah, you'll see like a whole slew of people walking past the rent-a-cop. I think I went in there once to use their ATM. Oh yeah, because I was at Drakenberg's, and their ATM was broken or something. So I went to the weird liquor store. We have no laws around buying booze. I noticed that when we went to Berlin. Berlin, you just like buy booze and just walk right out of the store and then just drink it in the streets. And all the streets were like just completely covered with like bottle caps that were like crushed into the asphalt, almost like a cobblestone street. Wait, what's... Oh, Michigan. Oh, so Cree, did you guys avoid getting sick from me? Because I was like really sick last week. Being drunk in public. How could that be a crime? Yeah, so if I do like weekly streams, even if I don't have these controllers, I guess I have to think of something to do. I mean, I guess I could stream upstairs. Like, we could like try to beat Shadow of the Ninja or program or something. But yeah, I want to like add some more structure to the weeknights to help me deal with work from home. I still don't like it. And I never will. Yeah, I didn't even like have any symptoms until like Tuesday. So yeah, like last Monday when I streamed, I still felt fine, but yeah, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was like the newest COVID. Although I didn't have like the dizzy part. I don't know, maybe it's changed. Well, it's all better now. Just fix old junk. Yeah, it might be fun to build a 2600 handheld. Like, see all the different stuff you could do now. Well, I need to get my Atari, my miniaturized Atari Lynx, the Atari Kitten. I started that like 3 years ago. And by started, I mean, I bought a McWill kit for the LCD, and that was about it. Because I was using my Lynx too. Like, I think the power regulator broke or something, so I'm like, might as well use this. It's not like I play it. Alright, so there's that. Beep, 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 beep. Live streaming my commentary on a viewing of Evil Dead. Yeah, I think I had someone else end up soldering that for me. Like, the RAM terminator is so easy to mess up on that because it used that RAM bus stuff, which required a termination like a SCSI drive. I don't know if I ever need to see an Evil Dead movie ever again after like making that pinball machine, which I'm still coding, but I'm almost done. Although they did move up the release of Beetlejuice a little bit, so that means the community mode we were going to do is going to get pushed back. So, Corwin's idea was to make a community mode where people watch a live stream and help him decide what the final mode will be. Well, the mode's called Hail to the King, but we have no idea. We had never had an idea for it. So, I think he was going to do that like I don't know, second Thursday of November or something, but yeah, they moved up the release of or the launch of Beetlejuice. So, oh, that's the next spooky pin, by the way. They moved up that release, which means he had to move back the community mode stream, which means I probably have a couple more weeks to continue my existing polish work before he's like, okay, Ben, here's the mode we came up with, program it. And then once I program that mode, then Evil Dead should be feature complete. I mean, we'll obviously still update stuff, but at that point all the intended modes will be in the game, because it actually only launched with 12 modes, and then I've added in 10 more since then. It's kind of crazy. So I did 12, no, actually, was it 12? No, yeah, 12 modes in the first 10 months, and then since then, so like since January of this year, I've added 9 more modes, so it's roughly one mode a month. So I have a little bit more time to do that. Then I got to get started on the next one. Not Beetlejuice, but a game that's like down the road. D-pad, hold down. Oh yeah, I agree. Evil Dead, Army of Darkness is also my favorite. But since the Evil Dead pin did so well based off movies 1 and 2, they are open to doing Army of Darkness down the road. It's just it's yet another license. Like if we would have done like a pinball that was Evil Dead 1, 2, and 3, it would have actually been 3 different licenses and 3 different studios. One of which was hard. Seems like I've talked about this before. For some reason, even though it was made by Universal, for some reason, Army of Darkness is not owned by MGM. I don't know why. And around the time we were doing this, MGM was getting bought out by Amazon. So whenever a studio or whatever is in a transition period, it's really difficult to get new stuff going, usually because everyone's getting fired. But yeah, if this is like 4 years down the road, maybe, or 5 years down the road, should all be, should be doable. Hopefully Bruce Campbell, well, I'm sure Bruce Campbell. Alexa, how old is Bruce Campbell?
Bruce Campbell is 67 years old.
Oh yeah, that's not too bad. And he's a dude, so his voice will still sound the same. Well, actually, that's not always true. When they had Richard Dreyfuss for that Stern Jaws game, he sounded awful. Probably drugs. Oh no. He's hanging out with Carrie Fisher too much. He's like, yeah, get the fuck away from me. Probably were born in a barn with all the other primitives. But yeah, I'm glad everyone liked that game, because everyone loves to say, "Oh, Texas Chainsaw is such a great pinball," but it didn't sell that well, and so people don't really talk about it that much. So it's nice to have done a game that people are so hyped over. Maybe I'll even get a Twippy. I don't know. Are Twippies still a thing? Because obviously it has the best code of 2025. Yeah, Bruce seems like he's a pretty sardonic individual in real life, but that's fine. He was a bit pricey, but it was definitely worth it. Let's see, like sometimes you just can't even get, like custom speech is not even something you can obtain. So it's like, well, would you rather spend this amount of money or not be able to do it at all? I mean, back in the old days, Spooky would have never been able to afford that, but this time they did. A cat wheelchair, like for Bud? What solder brand? Oh, this is leftover solder from the Atari Corporation. Kester. See, it was made the same month I graduated high school. I think I was at Oh, was it the Rocky Mountain Pinball Fest? No, it was at California Extreme. Yeah. I was at California Extreme, and I want to say that was 2012. And there's a guy there with a booth. It's like all my stories. So I was at the bar, and there's a guy there with a booth. Anyway, so he's got all these rolls of this Kester solder. And he's like, oh yeah, I bought this. This was like from when they closed Atari Corporation. So like the part of Atari that made like the Jaguar. He's like, I got this in the auction. So this would have been like, well, like I said, 2012. So that was, this auction would have been like quite a bit in the past, even at that point. And I was like, oh, how much? He's like, $5 a spool. And I'm like, I'll take all of them, please. And this is the last one. So yeah, I flew home with like 5 spools of solder in my carry-on. I have this weird recurring stress dream where I just had one last night too, where I'm at like a show or a convention or a trip, and it's always at the end, and it's like I'm trying to fit everything. For some reason, I ended up with like more possessions at the end, and so I'm trying to fit everything into like my suitcase or my car or my bag or something, and then the dream never gets past that part. So it's like I'm always just trying to fit everything into the bag. But I guess in real life it's happened because like when I would go out to like the West Coast, we'd often go to the surplus stores, like, oh God, I can't remember the name of them, in San Jose. No, well, I was a little north of San Jose. Crap, what was that called? That awesome place. Like, well, one of them was like the Weird Warehouse, but there's another one. And I would actually buy a bunch of stuff and then have to figure out a way to fit it into my carry-on bag. But then obviously you're not supposed to bring like tools in an airplane. Like, so if you carry on a screwdriver in your carry-on bag, they think you're gonna disassemble the plane. So I couldn't buy any tools, but I would buy like stepper motors and servos and circuit boards and all sorts of stuff. No, this was after all the TSA 9/11 stuff. Like I said, it was 2012. Well, as long as it wasn't tools. I mean, hell, I carried on a Sony PVM on an airplane once. One of the small ones. I took a 3D printer on an airplane once. Surplus gizmos? No, I haven't. Oh, $90 extra? That's ridiculous. Oh, so it was not just volume, it was weight too? Oh, I should probably put on the thing. At this point, you guys could probably build these for me. Oh, crap. I don't have the thing. Oh, I guess I'll have to fire up the laser. Laser cats. Because of all the radiation, Bud developed the ability to shoot lasers out of his mouth. I miss the days when you could take alcohol. Well, where you could have alcohol, you could bring outside alcohol onto a plane. Because I would do that sometimes to help me sleep. So that would have been like, oh God, in the 2010s. No, before the 2010s. What was the place called? Weird Surplus Gizmos? Oh yeah, Australian possums are cute. Let me see if I have any. I don't know if I do. You're looking for my leopard. Are you a leopard? I don't think I have any more of those. Yes, I will have to laser some laser cats. I can always do that tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Gotta turn on the other computer anyway. It's literally cosmetics, so I can just do it in the morning. Yeah, when was that, Randy? Because I would often like get like a 6-pack and take it on just to help me. Well, depending on where I was flying to, but to help me sleep because I cannot sleep on airplanes or cars or anywhere. Oh, I was at Pinball Expo. Well, again, it was the same place that had VCF, but at the Pinball Expo they had like a convention bar set up. I don't think they had that at VCF, and yeah, it's like, oh yeah, it was like $15 for like a domestic beer. It's ridiculous, especially like if you go into like the hotel bar in the same place, it's pretty much a normal price, but I guess you don't want to walk like a quarter mile. It is kind of a long place, so. Now I don't have any conventions for a while. Spooky talked about me having me go to Pinball on the Beach, but I'm like, well, I don't have a new game, Like Dylan should go because it's his new game, but well, actually, I didn't. Well, this year that was actually the first show where they had whatchamacallit, Evil Dead. I didn't go to that one either. Apparently, it's a pretty cool show. I think people just like the location. But I still don't have my real ID, so I am now not even a real American. I'll get deported if I go on a plane. And my passport's expired. I'm SOL. Yeah, it does suck, Randy. Dead Ben, I did get some laser cut stuff from a place called Send Cut Send once. That's the only time I've done it. It was actually pretty reasonable. It was like laser cut. It was like laser cut 16 gauge steel, I want to say. Spooky wouldn't help me because it was for a possible CGC project. That was kind of lame. Oh, they'll still let you through without a real ID? Okay, this is my 100% honest explanation for that. So my license expired in renewed in 2023. That same year, I had to take my mom to the DMV twice to help her get my dead uncle's Cadillac. So by the time I went to the DMV to get my license that October, that would be the third trip to the DMV in 1 year. And I was like, oh crap, I forgot about I didn't bring, because people try to downplay it, but it's not that much different than getting a passport as far as like the number of documents you have to bring. And yeah. I mean, I think it's a bit egregious for a driver's license. I don't think it should be the onus should not be as much as leaving the country, because it's basically a federal restriction between traveling between states, so I do not agree with it constitutionally. But it's the Patriot Act. None of that shit was constitutional. Well, anyway, so I'm like, oh God, I don't want to come to the DMV a fourth time in 1 year. And of course, the DMV people who are all like, I don't want to say base, they're more like they hate their lives. The guy's like, it's been delayed like 10 times. It's never going to happen. Well, I guess that guy was wrong. Because it was supposed to be like 2010, then it was supposed to be 2020, and then it got pushed back to 2025. All right, what can we do here while we wait for this to dry? This will probably be good enough. Oh, okay, so you can actually do it without a real ID. So is that why the airports didn't just spontaneously explode in May? Because I was surprised that wasn't more of a cluster. Because like I said, I got my license renewed in 2023, so they absolutely would issue you a non-real ID as recently as 2023, because of course they would, because again, they asked for a lot of documents. It's like, what is it, like a birth certificate and like 2 bills, and the onus was much higher than just a driver's license. Hey, at least Henry Kissinger finally died and went to hell. So, there's that. Only Mel Brooks should be allowed to live to be 100. Let's blow up some Cambodians. Well, I should still get one, but I'm sure that Pinball. Well, I mean, everyone raved about that show, but I don't know. I'll get a. I'll probably just get. Well, not like I plan to leave the country. I mean, I could probably just get my passport renewed, because you can use that as well, even though that's stupid from a constitutional standpoint. But yeah, because my license isn't even 2 years old. But I'm saying I think as long as your passport, I think it was expired last year. So I think as long as it's no more than like 3 years expired, it's fairly simple to get it redone. I'll probably just do that. Betty White died and Kissinger was still alive. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, he lived to be like, what, 100? Well, because if you think about it, a passport. Okay, so a federal government is in charge of the borders of the country, the republic, not the states necessarily. So leaving the borders of your country and interacting with the borders of other country, that is in the purview of the federal government. Therefore, the federal government has control over the passports for that. However, I mean, strictly speaking, it's not constitutional to restrict the travel of non-felon citizens between states. That actually happened during COVID. Like, what was it like? Was it like Rhode Island was like, they had the National Guard going around looking for license plates of like nearby states and trying to bust people for traveling, and they actually got in trouble with that because doing that's akin to an act of war between states. So, yes. But, again, the FFA is federal. So basically, once you go a millimeter above the surface of your state, then it's federal. Passport card is only good for Canada and Mexico. What's a passport card? Are you talking about? Well, actually, in the past, you used to be able to go to Canada or Mexico with just your American driver's license, but I don't think that's. It might be true for Mexico, but I don't think it's true for Canada anymore. Listen, mister, can't you see? I got to get back to my baby once more. The passport in card form. Isn't a passport like a card? Well, there's like a microchip in it, doesn't it? Just like Bud. Bud's microchip has his slave name, Fruit Loop. Or like his stupid name. It has his Quinto Kunte name. What's the tariff up to on Canada now? I don't know. Which way does that go both ways? Because we get a shit ton of oil from Canada. All right, so is this adhered well enough? Bud looks tired. Yeah, after his long day of sleeping. Yeah, most of the day. Well, he's usually like a terrorist in the mornings. But then like around lunchtime, then... Well, he's got several beds in the house. So one of them is at my work from home area. So it's actually under the Evil Dead pinball machine. So he'll usually just, around noon, he will jump in that. And he'll stay there pretty much until I stop working at 5. And then he'll like walk around the house mewing. But then he goes back to sleep. He still does mew me awake, but it's definitely later than it was before. Like this week, was it yesterday? I think I was able to sleep in till like 9:30 yesterday. So it definitely, the cat feeder definitely had an effect. And I did remember to feed him this time tonight before his half can of food that he gets at night. So he already ate, so he should be sated. Canadians have not forgiven us at all. I actually kind of am in favor of tariffs. I know that sounds awful, but okay, here's my example. Like the chip shortage screwed us like when we were making those boards for like Halloween and Ultraman. Like there was a time when a good amount of time where the only Cortex M0 you could get was the Raspberry Pi Pico, which the wafers, I believe, are made at TMSC like everything else, but the rest of the assembly is done in, drumroll, England at a Sony plant. So it's like, So these chips weren't made in a part of the country where they had like draconian COVID lockdowns, and you were actually able to get the chips. So I think long term we should think about that, because we didn't defeat the Nazis by buying ball bearings from them. There, I said it. Okay, so I need to bring this one. Oh, did this have the new circuit board? No, this is the old circuit board. After that, I'm going to continue working on this controller from China. I also think it's ironic that people who hate capitalism also hate tariffs. Pick one. There's already 35%? Jesus. Yeah, I would think that would have to affect like lumber prices, right? Because Canada basically is just a giant forest. Just a bunch of trees and oil, basically. There we go. That's funny, Matt. Yeah, I wasn't very impressed with Canada's actions during a certain global event a few years ago, so, yeah. I mean, it's cool that you have, like, a real healthcare system, unlike us. Well, or a national healthcare system, I should say. We have a real healthcare system, too. It's just... it costs a ton of money! Okay, well, yeah, tariffs might suck. However, going back to my earlier rant, it is the most constitutional way that a federal government can affect the economy. Because, again, you're using your dominion over the borders to artificially affect your economy. And, yeah, it's not really fair. It's kind of, well, it is, well, it's not artificial. It's quite real, but... You can basically, tilt capitalism in your favor. Or against your favor. Alright, so this is a righty, so we need to connect this guy. Oh, God, zoom in mode. Oh, I do have some interesting beers. Maybe I'll have one or two later on. Sean stopped by a couple days ago. My friend from St. Louis. They stopped by on their way back from Green Bay. It's called Love Gun, you know, like the Kiss song. And it's really good. It's like, I can't remember what kind of beer it is. It has like this, it has like this, like, kind of like cream soda taste. Like a cream ale. It's really good. I don't know how they make it taste like that, but... Oh, come on, stick! I mean, look. I think of it long term. Like eventually, the United States will go to war with China, and the first thing China will do will be invade Taiwan. Well, that's probably what would start the war. And yeah, where do we get our chips for our missiles and everything else? Like if everything's coming from an island that could be fairly easily, well, maybe not fairly easily invaded, but you know, it could be cut off. I mean, you know, because the thing is, like, we've had all these like proxy wars since then, but we haven't had a real world war. The world was a completely different place when we had a real world war, and you know, the real, I mean, the thing that really beat the Nazis was, well, you know, millions of disposable Soviet soldiers and another completely awful person. I'll send wave after wave of my own citizens into Berlin. But it was the fact that America built all sorts of crap and then sent it to England, and then, you know, that's why Hawaii and England love Spam, is because we made so much Spam and we sent it over to those countries during World War II. That's why those two countries love Spam so much. And yeah, so they just, like, the resources in your country is a critical part. Well, that's why, you know, one of the reasons Germany ultimately lost the war is because, you know, they were like a little country, and, you know, all of their resources either had to be taken or existing in Germany, and they weren't that big of a country. And they're like, oh, we got to take these oil fields in the Balkans, for instance, or we have to capture so much of Russia. We have to win a war to win a war. And, you know, eventually they just couldn't compete with, like, the land, just the sheer land mass of, like, something like America or Russia. Well, and another thing, well, and that also goes back to, like, you know, American exceptionalism in the 1950s is like, oh, wow, look how great America was in the 1950s, like, economically at least. It's like, well, yeah, because we were the only civilized, we were the only industrialized country that wasn't a smoldering pile of rubble in the 1950s. Of course we got ahead. We didn't have to rebuild anything. Like, you know, what's his face? Oppenheimer, he could develop his bomb in, you know, perfect safety, but, like, the Germans, we were always, like, blowing up everything, so they couldn't. It made it harder for them to develop stuff because we were constantly bombing that. And, you know, how many American factories were bombed by the Germans? Obviously zero. I mean, well, the U-boats were in the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of Mexico that can be seen from the planet Pluto from the Sears Tower. There we go. What was my favorite moment from the Ben Heck show? Oh, that's easy. It was the episode where we made the automatic dog door opener. This is gonna sound hypocritical since I was talking about Hassan Piker earlier, but so the automatic dog door opener, the idea was it actually used one of those shock perimeter collars, like for yards, where you'd bury a wire around your yard so your dog would learn to not leave the yard. I don't know, are those still politically correct Well, I think just shocking your dog is worse. Well, anyways, what we did, we bought one of those, but we removed the shock element of it, and we just use it as a proximity sensor. So I think we found the pin that administered the shock, and what we did was, well, we removed the shocker, and then when the collar got in proximity to the coil, which was near the door, how did that work? Oh yeah, because obviously the coil is dumb; it just sends out a signal. So the collar would get the ping that it was in the range of the perimeter. And then the collar would wirelessly send a command to something else. Again, this is like, it's been a while. I'm just trying. So anyway, we built this thing to demonstrate it. So Allison's mom, Paulette, brought over her standard poodle. And we were using that as the demonstration dog. But the poodle was in a new environment. So it was like scared of the door that we'd made. And so we were trying to, so we would walk up to it and the latch would open because of the circuit, but it wouldn't go through the door. And so it's like, well, we got to get a shot of it going through the door. And, and so I think it's just, I don't remember if Felix might have been working for us at that time. So I think I was filming it, and then, so Allison's mom was like, "Oh, just push the dog through the door," and Allison's like, "No, I can't. It hurts my heart." And so I'm off camera, and I'm just doubled over in laughter because it's so funny. And then Paulette's like, "Do it." And so ever since that, we called her the mean mom. So that was my favorite moment because it was just, I mean, yeah, it's kind of dark, but oh my god, I laughed so freaking hard at that. And we still talk about it too, like mean moms. So then after Allison had a kid, I was like, now you will become a mean mom like your mother before you. No. Well, yeah, a standard poodle. See, standard poodles are like large poodles. So when you see like the little poodles, those are like miniature poodles. Like, you ever see a Labradoodle? A Labradoodle is a standard poodle mixed with a Labrador. That's why they're still big, because they're made from a standard poodle. Everyone from TBS. Well, Jason Jones wasn't actually... Well, not all the people you list were on the show. Jones got remarried. Actually, I was texting him the other day. I think we were complaining about Warner Brothers or something. Chris Kraft. He's doing pretty good. Actually, I was just talking to him about, like, roofs the other day. Jerry's doing pretty good. I ran into her at... I think she's still doing Tilt 5 stuff. I ran into her at VCF, and she gave me, like, Fireball, and I'm like, no! And then everyone got super plastered. Karen, I believe Karen is working at the Madison Overture Center as, like, an events coordinator or something. And then she also has had a new hackerspace. I don't know if she's still involved with it. Allison, she works at the video department of the UW. Here in Madison. So she's like a producer now, and she does stuff. And she actually finally got her license for quadcopters. So, so she won't crash them like on the show. Max, he was, so Max went back to Backflip Productions, which was the production company we worked with for a while. But then recently he got a new job as well. I think he also works for the state or I can't remember exactly where he went, but he recently got a new job. Yeah. Yeah. And I haven't talked to Felix in a while. Felix is always like running all over the place. Yeah. Pretty much everyone still lives in the same area, like, yeah, like, actually, I think, yeah, pretty much everyone still lives on the east side. Even, I think Karen still lives in the same place, too. Actually, yeah, I should hang out with Max. I haven't, well, they had a baby, so obviously he's been busy, but I should probably, like, do a cigar bar night with him sometime this winter. Costco Karen. Well, I ran into Karen at Menards. I think it was like earlier this summer, and I thought it was my sister. Oh, Cree's gonna get mad at that. Doesn't it always bother me? Like, people thought like Allison was like my sister or my daughter or something. It's like, Jesus Christ, we're not that. But the thing that's weird is like Karen actually, well, my sister in chat will probably vehemently deny this, but like Karen does look like she kind of looks like my sister, except for she's shorter and she has black hair. Karen, not my sister. So like Karen from a distance. So yeah, I was at Menards. I'm like, what? Why is my sister here? And then I'm like, oh, it's Karen. So yeah. And Allison made a home gym in her garage. Yeah, their husband told me how much the propane costs, and I'm like, oh man, I'm not going to use propane in my garage. I think a big part of the cost of propane is the transportation of it versus like pipes in the street. Jason Jones was never like an employee of the show. He's just on episodes sometimes. Yeah. I don't know where. I assume he must have probably bought a new place to live after he got married. I don't know where though. I guess I should ask him sometime. An alternative place for trash electronics. No, I haven't. I mean, I still look at like the as seen on TV area of Menards when I pass by it, but there's never anything interesting. Yeah, sorry. I even went to like was it a dollar store or like, oh, what? No, it wasn't. It might have been a dollar store. I remember it was over on the east side, because this was probably like 2 years ago, because I was like, oh man, I miss crap electronic, you know, and I know everyone loves the video, so I was like, maybe they'll have something interesting here, but like, all it was like crappy phone chargers and stuff, and I'm like, wow, this place sucks. So then I left. Oh yeah, that's right next to Pawn America. Man, I miss when pawn shops were cool. As soon as eBay became a thing, pawn shops sucked. Like all the deals all went away. Oh, what's this? Sean says, I somehow clicked your live feed the second you mentioned us bringing you Love Gun. What are the odds? That's like simulated universe shit. Oh god, that happened to be just yesterday. Chris Kraft and I were, well, because you mentioned Chris, we were like texting and talking about like roofs and property taxes and stuff. And so then I go to the grocery store, and this random old lady in line, she's like, is your mother from McFarland? It's like a suburb south of here. And I'm like, no, I'm not from McFarland. And I'm like, I looked at a house in McFarland once. So then we started talking about that for a while. And she's like, oh, yes, I went to McFarland because the schools are better there. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, whenever a house in my neighborhood goes up for sale, I Zillow creep it. That's my term I came up with, Zillow creeping. So I Zillow creep the house. And I can't help but notice like how horrible the school ratings are. In Madison, it's like, I thought we were supposed to have the most amazing schools ever. So I think about that, like, I'll be like looking for land up north, and then they'll be like, oh, the school score here in the middle of buttfuck nowhere is like 6 out of 10. And like here around where I live, it's like 3 out of 10. And we pay tons of property tax too. But yeah, the lady kind of said the same thing. Like, oh yes, that's why I raised my kids in McFarland. The schools were so much better. So that was kind of, yeah, that was a, yeah, it was like 10 minutes apart, like texting Chris about property taxes and then like this random conversation with some woman about schools and property taxes. Simulated universe confirmed. Ben, do your impression of Mom. Oh, I was watching TV the other night, and there was a movie on, and it had that one guy who speeds. I think he was in the movie Speed. Anyway, so he was walking in some clouds. I think the movie was called Cloud Walker, and I was like, oh, he was in that Bram Stoker's movie that had lots of sex in it. How was that? Next week? What, this coming week? I don't know. I told Mike I would go on a Ranger engine road trip with him next weekend, so I'm not sure if I can do that. Pizza Ranch. Are there pizza ranches? Where is this pizza ranch, Curry? Isn't Pizza Ranch like a buffet? Oh, I think I might need to use the restroom, but maybe I could get a love gun. My aunt who lives in Wausau sent me an email the day recommending a Wisconsin Christmas movie that was very wholesome and didn't have any sex in it. You know what? Oh, Cree, I bet you'll agree with this. Like, our mom was like a total, like, sex prude, like, Christian. Well, I guess she still is. Growing up. And she'd always get upset if, like, a movie suddenly had sex in it. But now she watches Archer. It's like, oh, no, heaven forbid we saw a pair of tits in Die Hard, but you'll watch Archer. It's like, wow. Hypocrite much? Maybe it was like some sort of like repressed thing. There's one in Reedsburg or the Dells. What, a pizza ranch? Yeah, it sounds kind of crappy. A sex prude. Oh, the Rocky Rococo's near here actually has a buffet still. Wait, is it a buffet or a salad bar? I think they have a salad bar. Oh, it's pretty weird to see. I actually went there a couple weeks ago. Actually, it's not terribly priced. It could be a new series. Not terribly priced. Actually, the cafe near the second shop, Cottage Cafe, that place is still pretty reasonably priced. Max and I went there like, what, a month or two ago? The danger zone. Yeah, the danger zone. It's a zone of danger. All right, I'm going to go take a leak and get a love gun. And then we will finish it. Jesus. All right, here we go. Love Gun by Heavy Riff Brewing Company. Vanilla Cream Ale. Yeah, it's really good, and it does taste like vanilla cream. A creamy craft beer with notes of flavorful, bold vanilla, combining a dry but smooth, sweet finish. This craft beer is made ready for your next session. File under Rock. Brew that goes to 11. Pentecostal church. Yeah, it's really good. It's like very smooth. I mean, it actually almost doesn't even taste like beer. I mean, it has like carbonation, obviously, but like the vanilla smoothness of it kind of papers over that. So it like kind of tastes like a beer, but then like you get the cream ale taste. I mean, obviously it's not not like cream soda is real cream either. But yeah, it's really good. I think this is only in St. Louis. Yeah, brewed and bottled by Heavy Riff Brewing in St. Louis, Missouri. There you go, Southerners. All right. A sex prude. It's like what was it? Spinal Tap. Working on a sex farm, poking your hay. Oh yeah, they made a sequel to that. Has anyone seen it? Is it any good? I think it would be like really distracting since one of the guys was the brother in Better Call Saul. And now, that's obviously what he looks like now that he's old. Chuck McGill. All Lucky 7, Chris, who was mentioned earlier, so I guess he's back again in the conversation. He's constantly, I think, what does he do? He volunteers at a electronics recycling center in Milwaukee, but it's mostly to see if he can get cool stuff. And he always sends me pics. Like, what did he find last weekend? A TI 99 4A, although I think you could leave that in the recycling center. But he's gotten some. Well, usually he'll like text me. He'll like, oh, is this worth keeping? And I'll be like, oh yeah, you could, worst case, you get like a Commodore 64 and someone's going to want the SIDS, Actually, I think he, he gave me some calculators. I think he had like some calculators and some extra Pi 4s. I think one of which, I think I put that in the cat feeder. One of them. Oh wait, no, I did. No, I did. I can't remember. I guess I could do that. I don't know. But I don't really want more stuff. I want like less stuff. That's why I would always have that table at VCF. It's like, hey, who wants my extra crap? Because I had so much extra crap after doing the show. Like, so much crap. Or like extra boards. And I've gotten rid of most of it, but man, it took years. The CIA chips. Yeah. They glow in the dark. Yeah, those chips are the ones that do like the crappy bit bang disk drive connection, right? Unlike the Atari, which uses real cereal. Hey, I like the food aisles of Menards. Like, I bought some coffee there, and some of the stuff is actually definitely cheaper than the grocery store, like potato chips. It's not all crap. Like, they have, like, Schulzberg cheeses there. Like, every so often I'll buy, like, one of those, like, dish things of, like, cheese dip. I mean, it lasts me a long time. But they have, like, garlic, plum, wine flavors. Oh yeah, they have bagels there too. They have for some reason Schulzberg makes bagels. You can even buy milk. I've never bought milk at Menards, but you can. They used oh shit, I remember like even like during COVID, like you could get Jack's pizzas in 2020 at Menards for $2.19. Those days are gone. But they no longer have Jacks. Now they have like Roma, which are shitty pizzas. Then there's like lots of matzo, which I don't really like either. It's like this pizza with, get this, lots of mozzarella cheese on it. It's almost like there's like too much cheese. And so like if you cook it long enough to make all the cheese melt, then the crust burns or gets too crusty. I tried one once. That was enough for me. Hey, hired goon. Yeah, MK, the last one I had also had a bad CIA chip. So I just gave it away at Vintage Computer Fest, and I was like, needs a CIA chip. I think I left the SID in it. The SIDs are like, you know, like in Dancing with Wolves where they kill all the buffalo, but they just take their tusks or whatever. Wait, their horns? Buffalo. You know, like when they're in Africa and they kill all the elephants and all they do is take their tusks? That's the CIA chip. CIA. That's the SID chips in Commodore. They leave the rest of the computer to rot in the sun. Then Kevin Costner's like, who did this? It must have been white men. Oh, there's a lot of mozzarella cheese on the lots of matzo pizza. So I think you can definitely have too much cheese on a pizza. Like if there's so much cheese on the pizza that it just looks like a big blob of cheese and you can't even see the crust. That's kind of like what lots of matzo was like. It's like I think the crust is the most important part of a pizza. Oh yeah, that's right. They make those now. I've even seen SID chips with like little tube amps on them. Crazy shit. Damn, man, Lee, you a crazy bitch. Oh yeah, if you have too much cheese, it turns into a rock in your stomach. A geriatric double bill. Full on Rick? Rick who? The guy from Pawn Stars? Rick Sanchez? Casablanca? There's a place like right down the road called Salvador's Pies. It used to be the pizza oven. It's pretty good. They make like, it's definitely like a New York style pizza, like where they cook it on it's a wood fire with a stone surface. Because then like you get like those big those big air bubbles of yeast or CO2. Those are pretty good. Oh, Rick from Rick and Morty? Oh yeah, definitely. Looks good. What is my purpose? You feed cats. Oh my god. A brick oven pizza food truck. Oh, cool. So I am not into deep dish. I don't get it. I like Detroit style pizza though. Like Rocky Rococo. Rocky Rococo pizza. You know what I loved? I wish I knew. It was like the mid to late 90s. Was it Pizza Hut? Yeah, Pizza Hut had their Sicilian pizza. And I remember it was a rectangle shaped pizza. Kind of like a Detroit pizza. Because Detroit pizzas were rectangles because they cooked them in oil pans. But the Sicilian pizza from Pizza Hut had like all these great like spice. I don't know how to explain it. Like the spices were just so good. I guess they're supposed to be Italian spices. I really liked it, and I guess I don't think it's been a thing since. Hey, speaking of Rick Sanchez, if I could go back in time and go to McDonald's, I would get an Arch Deluxe. I loved the Arch Deluxes. It's really sad that they went away. I'd be like, I'm going to McDonald's. I would like 5 Arch Deluxes. Your brain is literally melting while you do this. Close enough. See, Arch Deluxe was like what? That was probably just continued about a year before Mulan came out. Sounds about right. I saw a YouTube video where a guy was trying to recreate. It was like, I can't remember the channel. It was like the guy was like trying to recreate foods that were gone. In one episode, he actually did the Arch Deluxe. So he had like a potato bun, and he tried to make the bacon ring, and all the. I don't know how close it was, but it's pretty cool. You know, Korea, I just actually ate half of a tombstone for lunch today, because, yeah, sometimes it just hits the spot. Yeah, maybe Pizza Hut should bring that back, like the nostalgia of the red cups and everything. 2.5. Rick Sanchez, Seath 138. Hell, Creed, did you know that I have a pizza stone? I haven't used it in a million years. Maybe we could use it sometime. It's on top of the fridge, so if I die, that's where it's at. I think they still have stuffed crust. I worked at a Pizza Hut once. The stuffed crust, all it is it's string cheese, and then they roll it up in the edge of the crust. So it's like several logs of string cheese just in a circle. Randy, I've heard Dutch ovens can also cook bread well. I have a Dutch oven, but I've never tried bread in it. Oh no, we gotta put on the D-pad of death. The death pad. You know, if I do a non-controller stream next week, I think I should try to beat Shadow of the Ninja. It still bothers me how close I got after 30 years. I don't know, Creed. Domino's is like not cheap anymore. It's like they improved their... I don't even know if they improved their quality a while back. I think they just put a bunch of extra spices on it so you wouldn't notice. But I don't know. I mean, I remember I used to be able to get like... You could get like a pizza and like breadsticks delivered with a decent tip for under $20, but that's gone. Yeah, the crust is pretty chewy. Domino's is... That's from Michigan. That's where they started. Yeah, back in the day, like when Spooky was doing that Domino's pin, like there was a two or three MGCs in a row where Domino's corporate would just send a ass ton of pizzas to MGC just because Spooky was there. Like hundreds and hundreds of pizzas. Like for the after party, it was great. It was like unlimited free pizza. This would have been like 2016, I want to say. This coming... Cree, I'll have to see. Like I told Mike I would do a road trip with him for that engine, so I'll see if he's gonna go get it next weekend. Although I also said that if we did that, I wanted to do it all in one day, so I guess I'd be around Sunday. Although, you know, some weekends I just like to not do anything at all. That's fun. Or... Well, I did do a bunch of chores this week, and I had to clean my gutters, and rake all the leaves, and clean up the flower beds, and fun. You like to read, so you got personal pan pizzas? Was that some sort of like... That sounds vaguely familiar. That was like some sort of library promotion, right? With Pizza Hut? I wonder why Domino's was able to beat Pizza Hut. I wonder if it was just because of price. I assume they're still cheaper. Because everything slides up. Ugh. That should work. Yeah. Hey, speaking of Pizza Hut, there's this Pizza Hut we always used to go to Actually, like Jason Jones and Dale and I would go there all the time. It was the one on Mineral Point Road on the west side of Madison. And then was that last year? Yeah. Last fall, when I had to take Bud to the animal hospital, the closest emergency clinic was full. So the next one was at that same location as the Pizza Hut. So I drove there, and I'm like, oh, I remember this place. But they tore down the Pizza Hut, but then they built like this new mixed-use building. But in the corner of it, they still had the Pizza Hut. So it's like the Pizza Hut remained in the same location, although it was like one of those like stripped-down Pizza Huts. And then right next to it was the animal clinic that I took Bud to. So that was weird. It was like, you know, this Pizza Hut that I've been to many, many times, and it was kind of like in this new, different form. It felt like kind of a weird dream, which is also the way I feel like when I drive through Verona, Wisconsin. It's like, oh, yeah, I think it was a Pizza Hut Express. Well, I guess I can check it on my phone. This is obviously the most important thing. Let's see. Should be right there. Bankers? What's a banker's box? Oh, wait. Oh, okay, there's veterinary emergency group. Oh, it says it's temporary. Oh, here it is, right here. It says it's temporarily closed. What happened? Yeah, this is the new Pizza Hut, which I guess is dead. Oh, that's not good. Pizza was barely cooked, barely cut. Long wait at the drive-thru as walk-up door was locked. Yeah, I guess things must have went south since I was there last year. Total MK, I'm not sure, because like I said, when I went there last year, it was like a brand new building. Like, the chicks were like, oh, this building is brand new. So the Pizza Hut would have also been brand new. And then Bud was like, I am dying. Bud, you didn't even realize you were dying. Or, well, maybe you probably did, actually. Oh, poor Bud. I'm glad you're not dead. Ow! Soft Bud. I'm glad you're not dead. But also, don't get another urinary tract infection, because that was expensive. Or, wait, blockage. Yeah. Alright, so we got to do the D-pad. I built him a super giant litter box, just in case, on top of it. I think I consulted ChatGTP about that. Because I was like, I was looking online, I can't find a litter box bigger than the one I already have. And so I was like, suggest materials to build a litter box out of, or base materials. And it suggested cement mixing trays. And so I'm like, ah. So I went to Home Depot and bought one. So it's like, it's this big black plastic tray, and it's 2 foot by 3 foot. And so I drew that into the computer, and then I drew, made a box that goes over it, and then the box. So The tray is slightly sloped, you know, because it's a plastic stamped bin. So I made a box that also had like slightly sloped edges so it would like fit into the bin. Then obviously there's a big door or big opening in the front, and it worked out really well. So I call it the poop palace. And then he still has his old litter box because the vets say you should have however many cats you have plus 1 litter boxes. So if I had 2 cats, I would have 3 litter boxes, but that ain't gonna happen. But he never uses the old litter box anymore. I mean, I check it every so often, but I never find anything in it. Oh, you did it as well? Levram? Histoplasmosis? Yeah, Bud's vet bill was just over $5,000, or ER bill. At least he was there. He was there for like 2 days because they were like making sure he was okay. And when I had to go to the ER for my kidney stone, my copay was also, God, yeah. So I had 2 $5,000 ER bills in the same year. That was great. But I was only there for 3 hours, and that was with insurance. It was $5,000. What a rip. For me, he doesn't have pet insurance. I don't know. I think I kind of wonder, like, when they were like, well, your cat has blah, 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 and to fix him, we need to do blah, 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 and it's going to cost this much. And I wonder if that's the point where, like, you know, something else happens. But obviously I was going to pay to have Bud's life be saved. But, you know, at a certain point, though, I don't know. They're cancel me. They're just like Hassan. U.S. healthcare plan, be rich. Yeah. or work in the government. Bunch of people with gold-plated rock star healthcare. Shutting things down because of healthcare. Only in America. No, like if you're like rich, or well, even if you're not even rich, but like, I mean, the American healthcare is great. It's paying for it that's the problem. Remember, like, rich people from like all over the world, they go to the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. They don't fly to Canada. Yeah, this D-pad needs a. That's pretty good. I should try doing TPU on the bamboo. I'd have to like put it into the back because I can't use the AMS with TPU. But I do have a roll of white TPU. Maybe I could try to redo these on the on the bamboo. Because I think the TPU ones I had for this were printed on the MakerBot. Where actually do I? Oh, I do. Oh yeah, they're up here. But the first layer is. Yeah, there's a lot of compression on the first layer. See how the point's not very fine? Which means they don't work very well with these pads here. So that would be a first layer issue. Yeah, Tom, I agree. As a self-employed person who has to buy my own insurance without subsidies, I definitely, yeah. I did not even realize that they expanded the subsidies as part of the... wasn't the Inflation Reduction Act. It's part of like the COVID thing. So I've actually been paying full price the whole time. I've always paid full price. I mean, I would agree that the thing that Democrats are trying to keep is more fair, but it isn't what they originally. That isn't the original version of Obamacare or ACA. Yeah. See how compressed it is? So I have like a manual Z screw on the MakerBot, which is total jank. It mostly works, but for this, I think we need more accuracy. See how much smaller these are? Because it didn't have a compressed Z. Yeah. So yeah, the thing I can't help. Well, I just got my notification today, and mine. It's like, as a self-employed person, there's no way I'm going to make it to like 65 or whatever with the rate at which unsubsidized insurance is going up. It's insane. It was like 25% this year. The thing is, though, even if they stop fighting and like there's a temporary extension of those expanded subsidies, it doesn't change the fact that the insurance companies are still increasing the prices by like 15 to 25% a year. That's a decade's worth of inflation in a single year. So whether or not the person, like myself, is paying it or the government's paying it, the same thing is still happening. The insurance companies are still having massive increases every year. And that's one of the things they don't talk about. Like because it used to be the subsidy cutoffs for like a $58,000, well, I think it was $52,000 when it started, but when you get the subsidies, the subsidies mostly cover the increases, so you don't actually see the true rate at which the insurance is increasing in costs. But if you're like a self-employed person who makes more than $58,000 and didn't know about the new extensions, then you pay 100%, and every year you get a letter saying, well, your insurance is going up this much in 2026. And it's like, oh my God. It's kind of scary. Yeah, like GST, I was talking about my ER visit. Like, so yeah, that was 2024. So it was a $10,000 ER visit, 3 hours. God, it was like a CT scan, some drugs, and I was there for 3 hours total. And the hospital charged insurance $10,000. I had a $5,000 copay. Again, it's like, oh, here's a bill for $5,000. Obviously, you can pay this. I mean, I can, but most people can't. And but if you take that $5,000 plus my premiums that year, it would have been more than $10,000. So, yeah, even then, it would have been cheaper to pay out of pocket. The thing is, I mean, really, like for myself, like a lot of my uncles had already had heart attacks at my age, so I'm basically buying heart attack insurance is really all that it is. And I just wish people in DC would just think about this as like, they all have like rock star insurance, whereas, okay, like if you see like these commercials, like most people can get a plan for $10 a month. It's like, oh, come the fuck on. It's like, yeah, like if you're super poor. I mean, I know I'm in a weird niche, but it's like if I was somehow getting my insurance for only $10 a month, I wouldn't care how shitty it was. But the fact that I have to pay like full retail price for it, yeah. And I'm not trying to sound like a super Republican. I'm just saying, like, I've been self-employed for decades, and I've been buying my own insurance for the last 15 years, and yeah, I mean, I see it. Like, I see how, and it's got, like, in the last 2 years, the increases have gotten really bad. I mean, it's probably also the fact that I'm 50 now, because that's, like, when you start to really break down. But when you don't get the subsidies, you see all the increases yourself, and it makes you think, well, wait a minute, how is this sustainable? Like, if they can you can't increase the price of something 15% a year endlessly. So even if I'm not paying for it, if the government's paying for it, again, it just becomes eventually unsustainable. And I think what's happening politically is that the Republicans want to expose that because they hate Obamacare, and the Democrats don't want people to realize it because they love Obamacare, and that's the clash we've got right now. And like I said earlier, like the current expanded one that I never signed up for, so I'm like, okay, well maybe I should, because I'd actually get something for it, but like not if it gets canceled. So I'll probably just wait until next year if I changed it. But the new one caps it at 8.5% of your adjusted gross income, which I do think is more fair. Because under the original version of Obamacare, which is what it's reverting to, that's the thing that Democrats don't talk about, is like the Republicans aren't, well, they're letting it expire. So basically you're going back to the 2010 version where anyone who makes over $58,000 a year gets no help whatsoever. So if you make $60,000 a year or $200,000 a year, you get the same amount of help. Zero. And I've been in both of those cases where like, yeah, I make 60 grand, 70 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand, and I have to pay 100%. So I think it'd be better if it was more progressive instead of coming off a cliff at 58,000. Oh, I have gotten AARP junk mail. Yes. Well, anyway, so the expanded version of it, because I had to look this up, it caps it to 8.5% of your adjusted gross income, which I think I probably would qualify for now. So whether you make $60,000 or $200,000, I mean, I don't know how someone making $200,000 would spend more than 8.5% of their adjusted gross. Well, actually, at the rate it's going up, maybe they would. But yeah, so basically, like, okay, let's say you made $200,000, and for some reason you were spending $20,000 a year on yourself for your health insurance. So that would be 10% of your income. Well, actually, probably more because your adjusted gross income would be lower than your actual net income. So under the current system, which the Democrats are trying to keep and the Republicans are trying to stop, you would get the delta. So, like, let's say you're paying, yeah, let's say it's, well, yeah. So if it's, let's say you have $20,000 a year premium. So 8.5% would be what? 16, what would that be? It would be $17,000 a year. So you would get a credit for the $3,000 delta. But of course, there's also people that are saying, why are we helping someone who makes $200,000 a year? And yeah, I could agree with that, but I would counter that would say, why aren't we helping someone who only makes $60,000 a year? And that's a problem we have right now. This one looks pretty good. Yeah, this stick looks nice and centered. Yeah, I'm going to be super lazy because my other computer down here is like Windows 10. It's completely obsolete. And it was also dying even before that. But I do have my laser software on my work from home computer, so I'll just cut that in the morning when I start up my work for the day. Oh yeah, Bill Paxton Pinball. Yeah, what about a video like re-examining Bill Paxton Pinball and seeing if it still works and trying to get it to work? Because I've heard that it might be re-obtainable, so we'll see. Because I sold it to Lloyd at SS Billiards like 12 years ago for his arcade, but you never know. Stay tuned. Oh, hey, Dylan. Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, how would that be any different from using the keyboard controls to duplicate the menu buttons, which we already do? Hey, Dylan, does Beetlejuice have that extra flipper button on the right-hand side? See, if we had two buttons on either side, we could have an accessibility mode where you could just use one hand to play both flippers. You know, if the person only had one hand. All right, I'm gonna take a leak, but I'll finish this beer at least for the stream. Since it's mostly full. The secret stash. Hell, MK, this is all that's left of my secret stash. Some of these are new. 2008. 2008. I actually bought some at the very end, of course, just to do it. Oh, I'm sorry, 19. So these are 2019, 2023, 2019. So 2023 is probably the oldest or the newest that I have. Yeah, there's another 23. This one's ancient. 84. That can't be a date code. Well, I got a couple of these guys too. 23 again. Yeah, that's all I have left. Oh, I got a better one though. Here, I'll put these in little piles. Oh, here's a sex sandwich. 68,000s. Oh. Oh. I also have a whole bunch of TMS 9928s. These are the versions of the TMS 9918, but they have composite video output, meaning you can use them with less circuitry. Oh. Look at that big beefy bastard. It looks like one of those giant bugs you see from Australia crawling up your hand. When was it made? 1990? And also 1990. Oh, this one's a 16 megahertz version. Beauty! Oh, yeah. Bobby Dazzler. I think these both came from arcade boards. Yeah. Yeah, the 68,000 is big. Yeah, here's compared to a DIP 40. See, look at that. It's huge. Well, I mean, it's just huge because it has a lot of pins. The die's probably not that much different. Now, let me see if I have any other present collections. Yeah, that's not super impressive. I've got a lot of those. These, that. Two PIAs. Well, I got a bunch of Zilog cereal chips too. I pulled these out of various things over the years. So these are UARTs made by Zilog. So you could also often have like a whole Zilog system. Yeah. Oh, and I think I have... Oh yes, look over here. It's a Little Fuse, the company that now owns Zilog, or what's left of it. What's the biggest chip I have used? I don't know. I mean, I've never used those 68,000. I just have them because why wouldn't I want them? Hey, if I got one more, I could make a power drift. Well, these aren't Z80s. These are Zilog cereal chips. So yeah, these are, see how they say SiO2? So that's a serial input-output device. So these are, you know, you connect to these with an 8-bit buffer, and then you send and receive UART style serial data. I think most of these are pulled from like terminals and stuff. But yeah, often you'd find a machine with like, well, you know, like the early IBMs, they had, you know, the 4004, but then they had complementary chips. Like Zilog did the same thing. Because remember, this was all from like 1975. So you're like, oh, I've got my Zilog CPU and I've got my Zilog IO, and yeah, you connect them all together. Let me see if I have anything else interesting while my beer is still not empty. Oh, kind of on the same subject. Like, if you're building like an old computer project, you can use these MC6850s. These do the same thing. They're basically a serial chip, just like the ones we saw, but obviously these are made by Motorola. These are super common. So like if you're doing like old computer stuff, you should get yourself some of these because you can use them in all sorts of stuff. A lot of homebrew projects use them. Because then your Z80 can... It can talk to these devices, and then it can connect to like a modern USB UART connection. You know, like an FTDI RS-232. They're older than you are? Yeah, probably. 1983 on that one. Well, this one looks newer. Oh, this one's from 95. Whoa. Very new. Why do I have so many of those? Oh, here we go. Let's dig through the Arduino bucket. Boring, boring. Oh, an extra Leonardo. I don't know if I ever... Why do I use this? Why did I use this? I use it... Oh, yeah. It was for the the Z80 Note project, because it had a oh, I can't remember what it's called. The Leonardo is just it's your standard Arduino chip except for it's a USB version. Yeah, but I had another one of these that I used for that. Oh God, Arduino's owned by Qualcomm now, isn't it? Christ. Reminds me of that Onion article from the 90s when they were funny. Latest mega merger reduces total number of companies to 3. Make special edition. Oh. Open source electronics? Not anymore. I think I like the Google developer. What is this? Did I make this? God, I can't even remember. I might have. I don't remember. An Ethernet shield. Kept you waiting, huh? Why do I have all this stuff? Oh, a good old Arduino Mega. Nice. Just like the, what was it, the ramps board used to use. Yeah. The Mega's so slow, though. I guess you just get it for all the I.O. RP 2350s? Oh, yeah, those are cool. Oh, yeah, I got one of these, too. Why did I get this? I was doing... Oh, I can't remember why I bought this. I don't remember. Yeah, I can't remember why I bought this. I don't know if this one needs to be reflashed. It has the what's it called? Not JTAG. What's the other one? Whatever the ARM one, the ARM programmer is. Yeah. Oh, a generic Mega. Why did I buy this? It's like a Amazon special. Huh. What else is in here? Samurai circuits. Oh yeah, there's some sort of backplane connector for that, wasn't there? I can't remember. Yeah, there's some sort, like you plug these into like a backplane and then you connect it to something else. This looks like some crap that I made. Oh yeah, this is it looks like it's like your standard whatever it's called, Arduino Uno. Oh, benheck.com A3228. Okay, yeah. Looks like this is meant for like servos or something. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, you program it here, and then you'd have the FTDI, but could you do the bootloader? Yeah, you could do boot. Yeah, you could use the FTDI with the bootloader. Yeah, so I got a couple of these. Pointless garbage. It's probably worth $1 million now. Oh wait, yeah. Oh, yeah, I must have made this because this is you know, PC, not PCB way. Yeah. Osh Park. What are these? Oh, STM8s. Okay. What's this? I didn't make that. More back planes. What's this? Oh, this is the microchip development board backplane connector. Oh, look at all this stuff. Huh. Yeah, there's a backplane for this. I don't know where it went. Oh, it's a Raspberry Pi Pico W. So it's in the wrong bin. You broke into the wrong goddamn rec room. Oh, there's another one. How'd they end up? They must have, like, fallen down. Oh, yeah, it's got the reset button on it. Huh. Oh, look, it's got a check mark. It must have flashed okay. Oh, yes. Still trying to remember what I was doing with this guy. I can't remember now. I mean, the megas are like... Yeah, this is like a real like... You know what's funny about Arduino is... the Arduino would have another Atmel microcontroller used just for the USB interface. So they have like a USB chip here. So all this this is another microcontroller. That's why it's got the ISP header here. But all it would do is do the USB conversion, which is kind of janky. And therefore you wouldn't need it on the Leonardo because the Leonardo was the native USB version of that same chip. But then these guys all would have it because, yeah, you got your main chip here, and then you've got another microcontroller acting as the USB. Some like the Arduino knockoffs would use like an FTDI 2322. Well, no, I'm sorry, 232. But yeah, most of the Arduinos just use another microcontroller. And now they're owned by Qualcomm. Nice, friendly company. Yeah, the Picos are great. Like, we did a bunch of workshops with them. And yeah, there was a good period of time where this was the only Cortex M0 that was obtainable. And it's a very powerful Cortex M0 as well. Like, one negative about it... Oh, this must be a fairly new company. Because they don't have direct printing on the cans. See, it's plastic. It's a fake. You can tell by the cross section. That might not have been the best idea. Yeah, I think it was like running out of these. Actually, let me check. Maybe not. I think these are a bunch of twos. No, that's the one. This is something that my friend Jesse made. It's like a RGB dice controller. You just gotta. I wish the Pico had a USB-C on it. Oh, I guess I do have some twos. It's like poker. And here's a river. Rays. I see a lot of stuff with these Pico chips, and they've definitely made an impact. Oh yeah, so the limitation is, as far as like standard peripherals, they don't actually have a whole lot, and they're not remappable, unlike most modern chips. So it's like, oh, there's two spies, and it's either here and here, or here and here, and that's it. Same thing with the UART and then the I2C. And I think that's it. Like, I don't even know if they have like a IRDA or any of that other stuff. So the peripherals, the built-in peripherals on it are actually kind of limited. Obviously, the secret sauce is the PIO thing, so you can make whatever interface you want. And you can DMA to it as well. But it is a bit limited when it comes like your standard peripherals. Because I want to say, yeah, it's just UART, I2C, and SPI. Whereas like that M4 I just showed you, that has all sorts of stuff on it. Probably even has CAN bus on it. Bud needs one machine he can press a button to get food, and one to get cat food sized cans of beer. You know, Holder B, I was actually thinking about making him a button for his dispenser, but then he would just keep because he actually does understand buttons. Like I've actually seen him like on the Roomba, he like actually pushes the center button with his paw. But the thing is, like, yeah, I wouldn't be able to give him like an unlimited amount of button pushes on a cat food feeder, and then he would wonder why it doesn't work. You know, when it's trying to limit it. But maybe, Bud, are you a cat? Do you have beans? Bean feet. Deadly claws! Oh no! That's a preview of when I die and you eat me, what it will taste like. Laura at all? I don't know what that is. Just about done with this beer, so I'm probably going to be bouncing off here. But thanks to everyone who stopped by. Yeah, maybe next week we can try to beat Shadow the Ninja. Fellowship of the Ring stream. Now I may be bouncing out of here, text the card, but thanks for stopping by for a bit. Oh man, I still got congestion. What the hell? I should go to the ER with the sniffles, like an old person. Oh, thanks for the super chat. Winman 4862. Yep, again, I'm going to try to do these every Monday, whether or not I have anything to do. I mean, well, there's always something to do. Just like with the controllers, it was easy because it's like, oh, I know, I'll build a controller over and over and over again. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Say goodbye, bud. Are you making a derpy face? Look at your big paws. Big deadly claw paws.